video game contests. Nowadays, you see a few fan-made contests for Nintendo games new and old held as huge events, provided Nintendo isn't being Nintendo that day. But did you know that Nintendo once held a few contests of their own? They have a few nowadays, but not in the same capacity as their 90s counterparts with custom-made game cartridges and stuff. I'm gonna go through some of these today, starting with perhaps the most well-known official Nintendo contest, the Nintendo World Championships. First hosted in 1990 and revived in 2015 and 2017, I'll go in order of when the events took place. The 1990 contest began on March 8th and toured across 29 cities, starting in Dallas, Texas. 3 separate age groups took part: 11 and under, 12 to 17, and 18 and up. Segregation at its finest. So the contest worked like this. The people with the 2 highest scores would compete for the title of city champion. The finalists of the contest won a trophy, a whole 250 smackadoos, and 2 tickets to the World Finals, which would take place at Universal Studios Hollywood. Funny how that worked out like 30 years later. The finals were held towards the end of the year, starting December 7th, where contestants played the Nintendo World Championships 1990 cartridge. For the outsiders, this was an NES cartridge which had modified snippets of 3 NES games. Super Mario Bros., where players had to get 50 coins ASAP, Rad Racer, where you just had to finish a course, and Tetris, where you had to get a score of 10,000 or better, with all of these minigames under a time limit of 6 minutes and 21 seconds. Winners of the contest received a 40-inch TV, a 1990 Geo Metro convertible, a gold Mario trophy, and a 10,000 Smackadappadoo savings bond. Cool. Oh, and runner-up's got a 1,000 Smackadappadoo savings bond. Also cool. Oh yeah, this cartridge is also worth a pretty penny. Maybe 2. And then a full 25 years after the original contest, Nintendo brought back the World Championships as part of their E3 2015 showcase.
Oh, great! Bill, you're fired.
The qualifiers were held on May 30th, 2015 in 8 Best Buys across the USA. A custom mode of NES remix with a similar game lineup to the 1990 championships, with Rad Racer being replaced by Mario Bros. 3 was used. Along with the winners of the qualifiers, 6 speedrunners and 2 celebrities were invited to participate in the championships. The live show had a much longer lineup of games than the 90 contest, consisting of Splatoon, Zelda, Blast Ball, Super Metroid, Mario Kart 8, Balloon Fight, Smash 4, and the yet-to-be-released Super Mario Maker. The winner got a trophy as well as a new 3DS XL signed by Miyamoto, with the runner-up also receiving the latter. In August of 2017, Nintendo announced the 2017 World Championships and had the qualifiers about a week later, once again at Best Buys, where people competed in Mario Kart 7. Okay, odd choice, surprised they picked that over 8 Deluxe. With the under and over 13 divisions having different rule sets. Under 13 played a time trial on DS Luigi's Mansion as Mario, whereas the over 13 division played as Bowser in GBA Bowser Castle 1. Again, very weird how they chose 7 over 8 Deluxe. 16 qualifiers participated in the championships, as well as 8 invited competitors. The event was held on October 7th with a pretty big game lineup, being Breath of the Wild, Smash 4, Metroid Samus Returns, Balloon Fight, Bird and Beans, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Tetris, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Mario Party 2, Super Mario Maker, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, and the championship game Super Mario Odyssey. And that's it for the Nintendo World Championships. Sadly, Nintendo hasn't held one of these since 2017, and I hope that they bring it back eventually. Hey, maybe they will with Nintendo Live coming to the States. Next up, the Nintendo Campus Challenge. This was a contest held at a ton of college campuses and a few non-campus events. This name's a lie. This one is a similar rule set to the World Championships. The first round Super Mario Bros. 3, where you gotta get 25 coins instead of 50, getting 100,000 points in Pinbot, and just getting as high of a score as possible in Dr. Mario. Oh yeah, and there was a pretty radical ad in Game Player Strategy Guide to Nintendo Games Volume 4, Issue 5. Okay, you should really be studying for that calculus test next week. And there's a paper due in English Lit. But who cares? The Nintendo Campus Challenge is coming. Nintendo of America is following up its hugely successful Nintendo World Championship with its first Nintendo Campus Challenge. During the next year, competitions will be held at 50 universities and popular spring break gatherings throughout the US. One lucky student will become the college valedictorian of video games. Contestants will play a special combination of 3 Nintendo games: Dr. Mario, Rad Racer, and Super Mario Bros. 3. There are categories for both men and women, and all finalists receive round-trip airfare to the January 1992 champion. Prizes include new cars and cash scholarships. Meanwhile, don't let those grades slide too badly. Nice. Wait, Rad Racer? Rad Racer? First round Super Mario Bros. 3, where you gotta get 25 points instead of 50, getting 100,000 points in Pinbot, and just getting as high of a score as possible in Dr. Mario.
There's no Rad Racer here. What are you doing, Game Player Strategy Guide to Nintendo Games Volume 4, Issue 5 editor?
Get your head in the game! Moving on, the Nintendo Power Fest 94 was a contest held in, get this, 1994. Groundbreaking, I know. These were held in custom trailers placed outside of various department stores. The rules set for this one involved
A. Completing the first level of Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels as fast as possible. This competition is already 12 3/4 times harder than the previous ones. B. Finishing a race on Mario Circuit 1 and Super Mario Kart.
and C. Hitting as many home runs as possible in a home run derby, and Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball. The competition was held over 3 days, and 8 finalists were chosen for the town finals, and winners were crowned the town champion.
The town champions then play in the finals in San Diego, where the town champions are split into 4 teams: the Cyclones, Hurricanes, Tornadoes, and Typhoons.
Do you think the guy in charge of names here directed Storm Chasers? Oh yeah, this game's also insanely rare. How many copies do you think exist? 100? 60? Maybe even 45?
32. There's 32. Well, at least there were 32, but after the event, 30 of them were returned to Nintendo and scrapped.
So there's 2. There were actually 2 versions of the Power Fest cartridge, one giving you more points than Kenny Griffey Jr.'s, and each being on one of the 2 known carts. One was bought in December of 2006, being the 1 million point version, which is the aforementioned version that gives you more points, and the other, the 10,000 point version, being purchased in July of 2012 for 12,000, and the seller originally wanted 50,000 Gs. According to the buyer of that cartridge, JJ Hendricks, it took 74 emails, 27 months, 6 phone calls, 5 failed meeting attempts, 1 sack of cash, and some additional twists and turns to finally complete. Now that's dedication. So we've looked at a few official Nintendo contests of old, as well as a reboot of one of the said contests of old. But what is Nintendo doing today for official contests? Well, they still have some going on. For one, there was recently a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Championship, and in the modern climate of the internet, pretty much anyone can enter for a chance to participate. Qualifiers even got a slick Mario Kart 8 Pro controller, now that's cool. And of course there was also a championship for Smash Bros. Because it just makes sense, come on. While these are cool, I do hope that at some point Nintendo brings back the old World Championships format with multiple games. I think that'd be a great addition to Nintendo Live, especially with some of the Nintendo Switch games that have come out in the past few years. Like, I'm just saying, if we can get Bird and Beans, I don't think the Clubhouse games is that far-fetched.